Okay, Photoshop can be persnickety at times, to say the least. What I have is I have my layers that I've shown you, okay? And what we're going to do is, if I would flatten these, just outright flatten them so I can start playing with selection and some of the other aspects that I want to play with. If I would just go and flatten this, what you're going to find is that it's going to change the way it looks. Some of the mystique is going to be lost. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to undo it. So I'm not going to merge layers. I'm just going to go back to where I was. And I found that if I would take and change each one of these to a smart layer, converting each one of these to a smart layer. And now, okay, so I have this happening. So I still have this kind of a kind of bright and those speckles happening. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fool Photoshop a little bit. I'm going to say save for the web. Now when I save for the web, and I'm going to select this image, and I'm going to make it small enough so you can actually see it. What you'll notice is saving for the web, I still have these speckles. Unfortunately, these are not going to remain. It's a beautiful photograph, and I love what's happening here. But we're going to get a little bit closer, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, and this time I'm going to save for the web, and I'm going to save it as a trans CC. I already experimented, and I can save it as a, what I've done is if I saved it as a C.png. What I'm going to do is do a CC so I don't oversave I don't save over any of my work. So I'm going to say save it. Okay, it still looks beautiful. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to close my layers palette. So this is what I ended up with. It's not quite as nice, but you know, it's along the same lines as I was looking for. I might take and just push in my layers palette a little bit, kind of push it around a little bit. So Command Z, what you can see is I lightened it a little bit and gave it more of that glow so it's not quite so dark. I can also come back here and I'm going to adjust it maybe a little bit more. This time maybe just in my curves palette. And curves palette is kind of neat because I do have the possibility of just coming up here and I could say, hey, I want to make it a little darker. Okay, or what I could do is increase the contrast. It's kind of nice. Don't need to increase it that much. Maybe increase it a linear contrast. Okay, and now I'm getting the nice rich darks again. So I'm going to say okay. So now I've concentrated. I've basically adjusted it where I still have that grainy sort of feel, plus that inner glow that I really like. Okay, what we're going to do is, and what I said we were going to do is, we were going to work on doing some simple selections, so you could maybe change what's happening here. I'm going to make another copy of it, select all, Command A, Command T for transform. Okay, so now what we have is I've created a copy within a copy, and I could make this Like, whoa, look at that. We can see inside things. Okay, Command Z. Or what we could do is I could come here and I could take my image and I could inverse my selection. That would be another possibility that we could transform selection. I could change it there. But also if I could just go Command I. Whoa, look at that. That's kind of interesting. Command Z. Go back. So I did Command I. Let's go select my canvas. This time what we're going to do is Command D. Maybe this time what I want to do is I'm only going to select a portion of it. And again, I could take, and with that, what we could do is I could change the exposures. Offset it. Adjust the gamma. Command Z. I could come in here and I could play with my filters. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so I could change things like that. Come here and we could render. I could make a lighting effect in here. Okay. Command D. So now what I have is I've created this kind of weird sort of look. Maybe I could come over here and do it again. Again, I might go for the lighting effect. That's pretty cool. Maybe lens flare this time. What would happen then? Well, no, I don't like that. Let's go back. Lighting effect. Okay, move this down. Really increase it. Say okay. So basically what you're seeing is I'm having a whole lot of fun playing. Command D. And maybe what I want to do is one last lighting effect, or maybe even a lens flare. Let's try that. Move that over a little bit. Really make it bright, or maybe not. Let's put it right on. I seem to have a flare right on there anyway. So click on that. Okay. And what if I would go and multiply? Whoa, that's kind of nice. I could maybe make it a little bit lighter so it's not so in your face. Or color burn. Or what about screen? Well, that's interesting. Push it up, maybe make it a little bit more. Okay, so now I have that done. So now I've played with transparency, and again, I'm having fun, folks. I'm not, I'm still going to put in my type, and that's the next thing I'm going to do.